on Virtual Private Cloud, VPC, peering connections. A VPC peering connection is a networking connection between two VPCs. This connection enables you to route traffic between your VPCs using private IPv4 addresses or private IPv6 addresses. In this way, instances in either VPC can communicate with each other, as if they were on the same network. When creating peering connections, you aren't just limited to your own VPCs in your account, you can peer with VPCs located in different AWS accounts. Moreover, the VPCs can be in different regions, also known as an inter-region VPC peering connection. With this in mind, VPC peering provides a simple and cost-effective way to share resources between regions or accounts. Additionally, VPC peering connections help facilitate the transfer of data. This can be used in a variety of scenarios such as replication of data for data redundancy, or to promote communication within organizations with uses like a file-sharing network. When creating peering connections, AWS uses the existing infrastructure of a VPC. It is neither a gateway nor a VPN connection, and does not rely on a separate piece of physical hardware. As a result, peering connections prevent problems such as a single point of failure for communication, or bandwidth bottlenecks. Peering connections also use the AWS backbone. Since traffic always stays on the global AWS backbone, and never traverses the public internet, VPC peering effectively reduces threats, such as common exploits, and DDoS attacks. Next we will examine how to establish a VPC peering connection between two VPCs. The first VPC will be our requester, and the second will be our acceptor. To establish a VPC peering connection, you do the following. First, the owner of the requester VPC sends a request to the owner of the acceptor VPC to create the VPC peering connection. Before we continue with the steps, it's important to note that VPC peering doesn't support all configurations. For example, the acceptor VPC cannot have a CIDR block that overlaps with the requester VPC CIDR block. For the second step, the owner of the acceptor VPC, which is either you or another AWS account, accepts the VPC peering connection request to activate the VPC peering connection. The VPCs are now peered. Next, to enable the flow of traffic between the VPCs, the owner of each VPC in the peering connection must manually add a route to their desired VPC route tables. That route must point to the IP address range of the other peer VPC. Finally, if required, update the security group rules that are associated with your instance to ensure that traffic to and from the peer VPC is not restricted. Now that your VPCs are peered, you can go ahead and peer it with multiple other VPCs. However, note that VPC peering connections do not support transitive properties. All peered VPCs must be directly peered with each other. Similarly, VPC peering connections cannot use edge-to-edge routing to access resources it does not have direct access to, such as an S3 bucket.